Guys, welcome back to the channel. Before I get started with today's video, I just want to take a second to address the elephants in the room. What's going on, Mr. Elephant? In my head, I thought it was hilarious. Actually going and doing it, a little bit less funny, but we're gonna leave it in today's video. But in today's video, guys, I'm going to be making a beat for the Weeknd. He's got an album that's dropping soon, so I'm gonna just try to make something by just kind of taking a bunch of different things from his sound. I know he's got like kind of like 80 vibes, he's got trap vibes, he's got R&B vibes. He's really kind of just does it all, and he honestly has his own kind of style. So I'm gonna try to do that today, show you guys some tips and tricks on how to do that as well. This Thursday though, at 9 p.m. I'm going to be going live on YouTube. It'll be my first time going live, and if you want to come through, feel free to show up to that. It's going to be August 12th at 9 p.m. so definitely be on the lookout for that. Aside from that, I also have my song coming out, so if you want to pre-save that, link will be in the description as well. But yeah, without further ado, let's get into it.
This is your conscience, not Dillon. If you haven't liked this video yet, make sure you go and do that.
So to get started, I'm going to be using a BPM of 174, so it's a little bit of a faster pace kind of a beat. I'm just going to start with some basic keys, and my favorite keys that I like to use the most are these cinematic ones in Keyscape. And because it's faster pace, I'm going to make these chords a little bit longer. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then this should sound good because these line up. Should sound good. These line up right here. This should sound good as these line up right here. That should sound probably good. So let's hear how it sounds. We just do Alt R to randomize the velocities, and then Alt S to strum these. That's a solid base to get us started. Found these after hour keys in Pigments, which is a plugin I just got, and all I'm gonna do is just copy and paste over the chords I was just doing. Nice. So those sounds go really well together, so I definitely recommend just any sound that you have, try layering it with something that sounds different. So when I say different, you don't want it to be in the same like frequency. So if you have a really deep sound, you probably don't want to layer it with another deep sound. All right, so now I'm gonna add a little bit of rhythm and variation to this beat. Here I just have this pad open, and it's called Aftertouch Lifts, and it just sounds really synthy. You can definitely do this with your beats, so take note of this. And basically what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna just go on these root notes right here. But to add a little bit of variation, what I'm gonna do is I'm actually going to go up right here and then just do this a few times. And actually, let's do this down here. See how it sounds. And basically all I'm doing here is I'm just chopping up this chord, and so I know it's going to sound good because these are parts of the other chords that I already laid down. I just kind of chopped up the D here, and then it drops down to the B, and I'm just going to do that for all of these right here. So I actually decided you could do it where you just go down to each of the chords right here, but I decided it sounded pretty good if I just dropped it down to the next note that was going to play. So that's what I did right here. That's why this C is up here. That's why this A is down here, because it's gonna play right here. And this, instead of an F right here, I did a C right there, just because I think it sounds good. So here's how it sounds, but you can still use the method that I just mentioned as well, or this method. They both should work. So that's like a cool little trick to add, some variation, little counter melody. Try that out and let me know if that was helpful. If you like me to explain why I'm doing what I'm doing a little bit more as well. I never know if people just want to see me cook up or if they want, the details. All right, so I'm still gonna add a few more sounds, but before I do that, at this point, I usually like to add like a bass line or something like that, because then I can kind of tell, is this going to be something I'm gonna like, as it sounds a bit more full. So I just got this Growler Moog bass in Omnisphere open. It's the one I always mention because it's one I've really liked using lately. I just put this down right here, and in terms of what I did with this bass line, just at like the edge right here, I did this in my last Kanye tutorial as well. I just moved it up an octave. This just kind of adds some nice rhythm to the bass line. Then I added another bass, which I'll probably switch between these two. It's a massive bass station in Trillion. Yeah. Just found this vocal sound, and I'm just gonna, put it in the beat, figure out where to put it. I think it sounds cool. So here's what I came up with for this vocal. Sounds pretty cool. And randomly, that was literally like the first sound I clicked on, and I started playing, and I was like, this can work. This can work. This is nice. And honestly, right now, I'm just adding tons of sounds and seeing what sounds good together, as when I actually lay it out, I'm not going to have all this playing. Jesus. I'm not going to have everything playing together. And I found this cool sound in Arcade. It's like a vintage synth, which I think will fit perfectly for the Weeknd sound. So I think that's enough sounds, so let's get to the drums. And today I'm going to be using sounds from my drum kit, the only drum kit, which you can get on my Beat store. Also a free version you can get as well. And I'm actually going to be using a few additional sounds as well from my upcoming drum kits. The only drum kit is essentially a drum kit that you can use for any type of beat. Like I could make this beat with just drums from that kit. I could make a trap beat with drums from that kit, drill beat, R&B beat, pop beat. But I also wanted to create like more specific drum kits. So drum kits that not everyone's going to want to use, but specific people that make specific types of beats are going to want to use. That's going to be dropping probably about 2 weeks from now. I would still say though, if you just need a drum kit and you like to make a bunch of different types of beats, you're going to want to get the only drum kit instead. But this is going to probably be a drum kit that a lot of you guys will like as well, so be on the lookout for that. But I'm gonna use a mix between the two kits today. Very easy. Just going for like a really simple kind of a groove for this type of beats. A little bit old schooler. If you listen to the sounds from my new kits, they're a little bit more, I guess, just real kind of drum sounds. That's kind of going to be the idea of the kit. It's going to be like real, kind of maybe some older school type of drums versus just a drum kit that encompasses every genre, and we'll work with that. So yep, be on the lookout for that. But that was pretty easy. Now I'm going to do like a short little break, and then I'll lay the beat out and give you guys a listen. So I want to start showing you guys a little bit more of my life. So I thought, I'm gonna show you guys me getting a glass of water. So I just usually grab a glass like this, and I slide over here to the fridge, and I use this thingy right here. That's like a water thing, and I'm using 2 hands, so let's see if I can do both. You can't probably see it, but and then boom, I got a glass of water. So yeah, make sure to subscribe, and I'll keep sharing more with you guys. So here is kind of just what I have so far for the beats. It just starts off with a pad, which is kind of like a really dark sound where there's not a lot going on, which I think just kind of provides like a nice build-up. Then I added the synth here along with the bass and this sweep. And sweeps are important as it'll make your drop sound a lot bigger. And what I did for this sweep that I think is cool is rather than put it right here, so right before when the beat drops, I took out 2 of these instruments, so the bass and the synth here. And here, just the pad's gonna play, which will add like a cool little, it'll just sound cool when it drops, basically. And then over here, I add most of the sounds in, except I switch to the distorted bass right here. And I'm just not playing the arcade sound, as that's gonna play after the chorus.